Greetings, conscious breathers, infinite beings, breath family. What is poppin'? Greetings from, we're in South Point Beach, Miami. Hello, people. Wanted to hop on here and said it. If you have ever gotten a scalar from me, email me or DM me. I prefer email. The email's a lot easier than going through a bunch of DMs, honestly. And email me. So we made a huge update, and I posted a picture of it. I don't know if it'll even fit in here. Yeah, so this is not the live stream generator, by the way. This is something completely different. The email, if you're interested in the email is devon@alchemybreath.work. The main thing that's different with this is you can plug in thousands of different frequencies. The live stream, you can't plug in different frequencies. So this is actually more harmonizing to the technology that I have than the live stream. The live stream does amplify, pin this. Yeah, the live stream obviously amplifies the resonance and feel it. It's a beautiful technology, but I finally found something close to it where, it's still healthy electricity. It's, in my opinion, I feel like it's literally mimicking the live stream. Two different people, two different approaches, but they're still giving off the same energy, so to speak. Still 0 point. It's neither negative or positive, super healing. But the main difference is you can plug in many different frequencies as you want. You can leave it on a lot longer. The live stream has somewhat of a timer, and then you have to keep on pressing it on and over again. And it is cheaper. I will say that. But I do not have a version of something close to, if you want to get something like the tower that the live stream has. I don't have that. But I do have something very similar to the box. And yeah, it's just, and as you can see, the rays is purple. I took a picture of that because that's so important to let you know that it literally is like the live stream in that regard. But the main difference is, I always wished, when I got introduced to the live stream, I wish that you can program specific frequencies in there, because that would be wild. That'd be wild, right? That'd be so wild. That would be so wild. And yet, here's something that gravitated. I'm partnering up with somebody in Switzerland, and we're producing this technology. We finally did it. So it's something that you can program. Either you have the first generation scalar with a tablet, you can use a tablet programming it in there. But if you just want the standalone with the that's the thing. If you purchase a scalar from me before, you get to order the standalone. If you haven't, we'll make a deal. Just email me. I'll figure it out. Or you could get the full package, especially if you got the first scalar. If you got the first scalar, you get to you get somewhat of a discount in a sense. Okay, what's going on? Peace. Yeah, we're talking about the updated versions of the scalar, what you can do with them. And if you don't know what scalar is, I'm going to run a quick synopsis. So think of two of the same energy coming from each side, coming into one. Not necessarily canceling out, but you could say creating an impulse. So what this is, I'm going to go back to the picture. So what this is, I'd rather show the picture than the actual video. You've already seen enough videos with a live stream. But this is important because you're seeing the purple hues, just like you can say Tesla's violet wand, right? So the purple hues is somewhat different from the violet wand. It's open, it's not closed, so you can take off the top piece if you want and then play with the electricity that way, or put some tensor rings on there. I'm going to give you the whole spiel. Put some tensor rings on there, put some sucker punches on there. You can do a lot with this. You can do a lot with this right now. Where can I find your email? It's Devon, DEVON, at alchemybreath.work. And you should put the subject Scalar delivery. If you already ordered a Scalar from me, just reply in the email that we've communicated with already. So what this is, it's a Scalar impulse generator. That's what it is. Yeah, it's totally different from the live stream, someone said. This is somewhat the same in terms of the electrical output that it's giving. But the beauty behind this is you get to leave it on as long as you want. And the main difference is you also get to plug in as many frequencies as you want as well. So something to note about what the Scalar does, and that's why I got I don't even want to say the B word, but S with the B word, and that's why you can't tag me and such and so forth on, because I showed how you can actually use Scalar to detox from certain foreign entities entering the body, if you catch my drift. Because even in the Scalar programs, you type in so-and-so medication, if you get my drift, and you can see that it does graphene detoxes and so forth and so on. You can plug in as many programs as you want and run it through the Scalar plates, whether that be, it can even be for bone growth. It doesn't even have to be for any illnesses, but you can even put stem cell therapy. There's stem cell therapies in there. There is eyesight if you want to enhance eyesight. There's even 7 chakras on there as well. This upcoming event that has never been done before, we're going to have Scalars, we're going to have live stream, we're going to have frequency breathers, we're going to have Roidon, we're going to have sound healing, we're going to have CAP. I shouldn't even be talking about it, but I'm just giving you something to look in the future with, because I don't know if it's going to be the last time. I look at this as, the same time I brought all those sound healers together at one point, for just me doing that one event, that meant the world to me. Just that one event meant the world to me. And why that meant the world to me, because it's never been done before. I've never experienced, at least it's not done as often as it should. That many sound healers all at once. So with this event, it's never been done before either. You're going to have Scalar. We're going to have the Roidon. We're going to have Scalar impulse generators, which is going to do so much detoxing. And I feel like if anyone is battling any sort of illness and they come to the event, we should actually cater to them as well. Plug in certain programs. Let's say they're dealing with I don't know, any type of disease you can think of, because you can literally type that into the Scalar. No, it's not like that. What's her name? Spirit Tuki. This is totally different. I mean, you could use it inside the Scalar impulse generator, and a lot of people have issues, because when they look at mine, they have issues saying that, wait, how did he connect this and that? I'm like, yeah, I did that. I did it. I converted what was the impossible to the possible. And I feel like a lot of people are out there somewhat mimicking me in a sense, and don't give credit where it's due. So in that sense, that's okay. Somewhat more powerful. So the voltage, it's 1 million volts coming off. And it's safe, It's not dirty electricity. That's one. So a lot of people, you can generate as millions of voltage of electricity as you want. But is it healing though? Is it safe? Is it going to burn you? Is it going to zap you? You don't want that. And actually, if you look at certain ancient temples in India specifically, I can touch. There's a lingam. Anywhere you see scriptures that has a lingam, look exactly how that temple is built. And these temples can harness some powerful forces. There's even temples that has levitating disc till this day that are tons, over 16 tons. You know how heavy 16 tons is? I think you can kind of compare it to the pyramids in a sense, how big each block is and how heavy each block is. So imagine those blocks being able to actually levitate. You can actually push. You can get the weakest person too. Get the weakest person to actually push the block, and it'll spin in a certain geometrical palette, in a certain geometrical state. Till this day. And you go to these temples and you wonder, like, man, what state of mind were these people in? I like to say they were just in more harmonious state, in harmony with the natural forces that is in terms of nature. That's all it is. That's because I feel like if I wouldn't have gravitated to these type of technologies, in a sense. Because these type of technologies would do would take you can do the deepest fast possible, right? But you have to factor in the type of soil that we live in today's world. You know, the food is not that strong as it once was back then, right? So it's beautiful technologies like these exist that somewhat enhance the process of detoxing and strengthening the cells in general. Certain technologies, just like breath, because a lot of people will go into these fasts, but they don't go as deep in terms of not healing themselves, but pushing out what needs to be pushed out. And breath is a powerful tool to help utilize that. And it's a forgotten tool because a lot of people just look at the physical. Even when you go into dry fasting, you can do so much deeper work and survive rather than looking to thrive rather than trying to survive on those types of fasts, right? And the breath helps with that. These type of technologies help with that. Everything is a tool. Hitavon, what do you get when you purchase a Scalar? I already went over that. So if you have the first version of Scalar, it came with a tablet and an amplifier. The difference with this one is it comes with a computer and an actual frequency generator. On top of that, it'll come with the Scalar impulse generator, which is the electrical forces. You can even put your food on there. You can put your water on there. You can put your crystals on there. It'll molecularly change within a lot faster than... I would still give it 10 minutes, so I'm still going to give it 10 minutes. But it'll change a lot faster in that sense. And it'll enhance your prayers, in a sense, to the water. Because, look at it this way. The water's getting charged. The water is living. So when the water is being charged and you're saying your prayers to it, it'll take it a lot deeper, in a sense. It's living water. Same thing with urine. I've had one person supercharge your urine on that, and that was really powerful. What do we do about mosquitoes? Detox. Not just detox, but mosquitoes. Well, you can look at mosquitoes as free acupuncture. That's one. Even if you're quote-unquote detox as much as possible, mosquitoes will still bite you here and there, but it's quicker to heal. That's one. And to me, it feels like acupuncture. Once in a blue moon, I get bitten. I don't get bitten as much. There's a lot of people out here rubbing sunscreen and all that stuff on their body. Yeah, so the difference, if you got version 1, I'll tell you what version 2 has. The main difference with version 2 is there's more applications, there's bigger databases, different databases coming from the Rife database and other research centers. There's about like 4 different research centers within the Rife, from the Rife database, from the X, from the other clinic and other clinics in there. There's like 4 different databases. So there's like someone said, I forgot what it's called. Things called the rash. I don't know what it's called, but it's another type of scalar. But they only have 4,000 set of frequencies, while this one has like millions. Like, you type in the most specific thing you are dealing with, and it'll pop up. Yeah, we ship worldwide. It'll pop up. The most specific thing. If you want to type in Candida, it'll pop up. If you want to type in Candida, type something, it'll pop up. It will pop up. And I personally started using this with all my clients. No matter how healthy they are too, I still give them as a gift, and it just enhances what they're going through. Because in my opinion, no matter how far out you are, in general, this whole world, you should be able to go walk next to the trees and you should hear the pitches coming from the trees. And the more far out and the more you are in nature, you'll start to hear that pitch at a slightly resonance. It should be a lot louder in your face. Oh, we're heating up a little bit. And what I mean by that is because no matter where you are in the world, there's still a blanket of these frequencies from the cell tower all the way from the US hitting the remote places of China. I have witnessed this. My Sifu himself, he turned on the scalar in the middle of the mountains, and he could start hearing the high pitches coming from the mountains. So that goes to show you, no matter where you are in the world, you are being blanketed. There's like a veil, whoever, if you want to call them they or whoever, there's like a veil that is among us, in a sense. And it's time to lift that veil. People think that energy is somewhat stagnant, and you're out in the mountains, you're somewhat safe. There's waves. It's hitting the whole world. From New York all the way to the remote places in China. From those cell towers, energy is not stagnant. It's moving. Now, don't get me wrong. There's parts in the world where it's not going to hit as much, right? There's places that you feel more protected from certain frequencies and energies, so to speak, and that's how powerful nature is. Let's never doubt nature, right? And it can't be a coincidence when certain earthquakes start happening at certain places, and then certain cell towers start disappearing. And we can go on and on and on and on, all the way down to satellites falling, falling here and there. Let's hope more satellites start falling, in a sense. But like I said, anything they can do, we can do. And I always like to remind people of that. Just like they were blasting innocent people that were protesting in Australia with harmful rays of frequencies, and they were getting adverse effects. It's real. It is so real. And it's so funny because my friend John, he does frequency. He's been doing frequency therapy for over several years, right? So he's dealt with certain yogis and stuff, and people saying that, oh, I can actually generate my frequency to be like that. I was like, okay, if that's true, let me actually put it on my frequency thing right here, and let's see if you can match it. And they can't match it, no matter how advanced you think you are, because we all generate certain frequencies at different molecular levels. Now it's coming to the state of oneness, into the state of awareness, the aspect of the one, so to speak, saying that, hey, if source creator is giving me awareness that this exists and I can do it with this, it reminds me of the story of when this guy was stranded in the middle of nowhere, right? And he asked God, please send some help. Please help me. All right, one person came, and he was stuck in the hole. He was like, "Hey, brother, do you need any help? I got some food here." He's like, "No, God will save me." And then the person leaves. And then the next lady comes by, say, "Hey, I got some water. Do you want any water?" And he's like, "No, God will save me." And then he ends up dying, and then he goes up to heaven, and he's like, "God, why didn't you come and save me?" He's like, "I sent like 63 people to come and help you. What are you talking about?" Right? It's that ego mentality, not even ego mentality, but it's getting stuck in the sense of a one-dimensional thinking to finally understand that things are not just one way as it seems. Why did our ancient ancestors, why did they use technology, so to speak? If we look at them as advanced, right? Because they did less harm on themselves, right? They were more in harmony with nature in terms of using organic technology to amplify what God gave them, if you want to put it like that. All right. Let's see here. Got a question in here. I always get asked this question a lot. What kind of water do I drink? I drink structured water. What do I mean by structured water? I definitely don't drink any bottled water. That's one. Either it's fruit juice, either it's water that's being placed on the scalar for at least 10 minutes or more. Structured water in general. You do not want to drink any type of dead water whatsoever. You don't want to drink it from the bottle, unless you put it on the scalar itself. So that's something else that's practical, you could do, because I've had people already that notice a huge difference, because some of them can only afford bottled water. Let's be practical here, right? I'm not saying everyone can afford this and that, right? But they can only afford to have bottled water. And I told them about going to the nearest water store near you, and that saved them a lot more money than you think. Trust me, if you can find a water store near you, get reverse osmosis or even distilled water, trust me, it will save you so much money in general. So they take their 5-gallon that they only pay a couple cents for, take their 5-gallon that they refill for only like $1, and they place it on the scalar, and their whole family is getting generational healing, whether they like it or not. That's how powerful structured water is. We're not made up of H2O, we're made up of H3O. Different molecular bonds connecting to the one hydrogen. Not 2, 3. H3O. That is structured water. All the way down to your urine is structured water. If you don't want to drink your urine, here's another practice I want to share and spit game with you, in a sense. Another powerful way of structuring your water if you don't want to drink your urine is still pour your urine into a glass or a bottle. Keep it in the bottle, and then whatever water you're going to drink, have it next to it. Water has memory, right? So having your urine right next to the water, I've never seen anyone talk about this, but having your urine right next to the water is a powerful way to structure your water as well, with your own energetic imprint. Just having it right next to it for at least an hour. It's going to take about an hour, more than 10 minutes, unless if you have a scalar, you can speed up the process in a sense. What's a scalar? So if you really want to dive deeper before making any decisions, go into my YouTube, and there's a playlist called Scalar Info. I came out with the whole scalar thing and giving it more awareness into my practice. No matter how healthy the person is, I do it because why not? Why not? We should have, this is a human experience, right? We should get as much as we can, and I deliver as much as I can. And that's a value that I bring. A lot of people say you should be upcharging at this point. I'm like, no, not for a while. Until, I'm also looking into certify people into alchemy, breathwork, and scalar appliances very, very soon. So that will happen after the book comes out. The first book, there's a first book before Breath Consciousness. be on the lookout for that. And, that will start propelling me into the academy and initiate people into doing their own thing. And something that's going to be very unique with that whole process is we're going to get together at least every 3 months. That way, any updates with alchemy breathwork, I share any updates those teachers, or I like to say tutors, they share as well in a whole collective. And we just grow and grow and grow. It's going to be a very tight circle, even though the first wave is going to be thousands of women coming from Savina's camp. I'm going to start with there, but I'll invite Breath Family first before even going public. So people within Breath Family will be able to get certified as well, along with her group of women. And she hosts over like close to 20,000 women. And I did a few sessions with them, and they love me. So I'm really honored just to be in that space filled with women who want to have me back. And, they've been incorporating into their lives, and they see the benefits just like that. So I'm really, truly honored to be part of any women's circle. So if you have a women's circle and you want me part of it, don't be afraid to reach out. I was really surprised. I thought it was like women only, but I strive to hold both the masculine and the divine feminine within my own expression of being. And I feel like that's being reflected right in my face. And again, I'm truly honored. If Savina is going to be watching this, if Alexis, if you're watching this, I am, again, so honored to be part of your groups. Another thing about Scalar, a lot of people talk about food nutrition and stuff like that. A lot of people don't talk about frequency nutrition, right? And that is what Scalar is giving, frequency nutrition. Just like Recovered by Now, I think that's her full Instagram, I'm not sure. Marissa, she has nerve damage. And when she turned on the Scalar for the first time, that was like the first time she actually felt satiated by quote-unquote frequencies. It's not just frequencies. You are creating a scalar body, and just like our mirror neurons, it's reading that scalar body, but in an in-depth way, in a more powerful way to absorb certain frequencies beyond the aspect of frequencies in itself. Frequencies in general is actually a derivative from scalar, just like electricity is a derivative from scalar. Scalar comes before electricity. Scalar comes before light. We all have scalar within us, in a sense, coming from the essence of the soul. That is the only free, quote-unquote, energy known to man. And what do I mean by that? There is no such thing as free energy. Anytime you see energy-free devices, quote-unquote, no. What's happening is they are transmuting and using a medium that is a device, sort of sense. They are transmuting that into quote-unquote energy, even if it's from the air in terms of electricity, from the ether, quote-unquote, right? They are transmuting what is into another form. Now, the difference with the human resonance is that soul, it's infinitely impossible to measure the soul in a sense, because it's forever expanding. Sure, you can weigh it, but at the same time, the weight fluctuates back and forth, just like the body fluctuates back and forth in terms of weight. That mainly stems from your soul, beyond the physical. And there's scientific proof. When somebody dies, when they go into the gurney, when they go into the cemetery, beyond the cemetery, when they go into autopsy, they weigh them, and the weight is actually always going to be lighter, even if it's a few seconds of death, and they go on the weight, it's always going to be lighter. So what's missing? The soul. The soul is missing. That's why you can't just look at health at a physical standpoint. You just can't. Your soul matters. How you deal with emotion, that matters. Emotional eating, that's a thing. Emotional dependency, that's a thing. That affects how you digest, not just your physical stuff. And that's where the Western science always be hitting a block because they always like to look at the physical. But there's more. There's way more to that. And they're finally coming around, just like I showed you with them mimicking breath patterns with the human lung chimp, right? It goes to show you. And I like to always say every single technology known to man that's ever been produced, it is based off the human body. Every single thing. So you could say Scalar in itself is the closest thing I've personally seen to mimicking human soul resonance. So you could look at it like that. Just like if you're thinking about something or someone and all of a sudden they call you, right? Just something just like that. Same thing with Scalar. Just like we've done, and we're still doing this, by the way. I just want to let you know. I think it's going to go even more powerful when I turn on the Scalar Impulse Generator. So people from all over the world, they've been sending in their pictures, whether that be an injury they have or someone who's dealing with certain emotional whatever. We run about 60 plus different frequencies randomly throughout the day. Not every day, but randomly throughout the day. Almost every other day, sort of, in a sense. Because the Scalar's on 24/7 anyway. But when I have sessions and stuff, like I shift up the frequencies. So let me just go from the light to the dense and how you can get your own. Even if you can't afford the Scalar Impulse Generator. Even if you can't afford the Impulse Generator. So the lightest, we have Scalar stickers. That same Scalar sticker is on every single Scalar that we have pushed out in the world. So imagine everyone's running different frequencies all around the world, different healing frequencies, obviously, all around the world on that same exact Scalar biogeometric plate. And before this actual Scalar device, that specific resonance, that specific geometry, there's so much history behind that. They even use a chicken coop, right? They put a brand new chicken coop right next to the chicken coop that they would input antibodies into. And they put that imagery all around the new chicken coop. And within a month, they had healthier vitals than those with the antibodies. That goes to show you how powerful symbols are in general and how powerful healing-wise they can be. So what we did was, when someone sends in their picture, we put that biogeometric blueprint. We even enhanced it. We actually double plated and we did so many other things. In Sri Lanka, we did so many things with it. And we put their picture on top of that. And then we actually put it on the actual scalar that's running the frequency. So no matter where they are in the world, they're feeling that energetic resonance. Whether that be, they feel it physically in a sense, they feel like it's something shift depending on how dense or how light you are in a sense. It really doesn't matter, because now it's beyond that. It's also acting in a spiritual sense as well. If you want to go esoteric in that sense, you'll start to see certain things harmonizing. You'll start to see certain people start to, quote unquote, leave your life based on the testimonials that I have gotten. I'm just going based off testimonials. I don't want to sucker punch anybody here. I'm just going based off testimonials. And we even did a 30-day experiment seeing how it affects the aura with iHeart. And we had him on, and he gave his whole experience about the car crash, how a new car, and how it pushed him into expanding his business and all this stuff. It's wild. And he said that's the fastest he's ever seen anyone's aura change that quickly utilizing Scalar. Scalar, in my opinion, is a lost art. It's, if you look at these beautiful ancient geometric palaces and places, all the way down to that Indian temple. I'm gonna bring it straight there. I'm going beyond the pyramids now. Not beyond the pyramids, but something else other than the pyramids here. A lot of people want to debate me on that. But you can go to this temple, and again, 16 tons of hard rock. That's impossible. And this is a place like India. So you can imagine they didn't have certain constructive technology. They probably had it much worse, in my opinion. Much worse. To have zero gravity technology where the weakest kid on the block, you can bring there and they can actually push the rock, and it's actually levitating within that one geometric specific resonance. How powerful is that? Yeah, and our people were just barbaric, just simple-minded, hunting on a day-to-day basis. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. To create such technologies like that, nah. We were much more sophisticated than whatever's out there, honestly, because there's so much stories that has yet to be told and discovered. We are just scratching the surface, because the age of information is not as old as you think it is. It's only been honestly 10 years in terms of the warp speed that's happening here. What is Scalar? Scalar. Can a scalar generator be more powerful? If not, why not a big ass scalar? Oh, we're working on that. You can look at the live stream. So something that we're gonna be working on it. But the live stream, there's a tower. I don't know if you got to see the big ass tower, but check that out. And I actually put my scalar plate on top of that tower, because again, the live stream, you can't plug in different frequencies into the live stream. So to combat that, I put the actual scalar plate on top of the live stream, and it magnifies it. But what we've done is we're being able to plug in millions of different frequencies with the scalar impulse generator. So that's the main difference, and it is cheaper. And that's all I'm going to say to that. But yeah, if you're still interested